Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Okay, story I have to talk about this morning. I don't like talking about the Queensland police and all that, and Queensland government, and the way they constantly seem to be screwing over the public, you and I. But you got to do what you got to do. This story came out a couple of days ago. So many things about it that just doesn't it doesn't don't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. First off, the amount of money that you can spend just to make announcements. Well, it's a big state, says the Premier, Miles. It's a big state. We've got to spend all this money to make announcements in our big state. That's what happens when you got to get around the big state. Oh, golly gee, the big state. I don't know if you have to spend this amount of money, but apparently this is what the Queensland Premier and the Police Commissioner, Queensland taxpayer, forks out 167,000 for Premier Stephen Miles and Police Commissioner Steve Gollschewski to travel in private jets. There's the two of them there. I think that's Cairns, isn't it? Looking oh, very cozy. In short, two private jets for a trip involving the Queensland Premier and Police Commissioner to make crime prevention announcements. In April, cost taxpayers about 167,000. Steve Gollschewski told Budget Estimates it was his first day as police commissioner, and he saw the benefit in travelling to Cairns, Townsville, and Harvey Bay. At Estimates on Tuesday, Premier Stephen Miles defended the use of two planes for the trip, but did not reveal the total cost. I think that's hilarious. I reckon Stephen Miles is like, you know what? I ain't telling these fellas how much it costs. I'm going to leave that up to Gollschewski. I'm going to leave that up to the new police commish. He can tell them. Two private jets for a trip involving the Premier. Anyway, so you got Stephen Miles, Commissioner Steve Gollschewski, Police Waste Police Minister Mark Ryan. Please, can someone tell me why is he still in office? He should have quit when Katarina quit. He should have been forced out. He is an enemy to police officers and the public all at the same time. The worst police minister in history of Queensland. The worst. Did nothing but attack the Queensland police, attack police officers for years. When he brought in the mandates and everything, mate stood up there with Cat next to him. Oh, we'll just get new police. That's all. That's what will happen. All the other fellas will leave. We'll just get new ones. Why is he still in? He's an enemy to police officers and to the public. Okay, keep going. Other MPs and staff used the jet to visit cities including Cairns, Townsville, and Harvey Bay over a few days in April. A few days. A few days will blow 167. Wow. Gollschewski told the Budget Estimates hearing on Friday the flights cost taxpayers $167,825 for them to travel to multiple destinations over several days. There, there was some initial discussion around other aircraft, and I said, we cannot use operational police aircraft for this type of travel, he told the hearing. Now, I have traveled quite extensively in the police the police plane. Mate, I did more than my fair share of trips in the police plane. It's not the most comfortable. I remember flying from Cairns to Brisbane, and you're doing the milk run. You go from Cairns, you go up. 45 minutes later, you're going down, landing in Townsville. Finish in Townsville, up. 45 minutes later, roughly, you're down, or an hour, you're down, you're in Mackay. Do what you got to do there, up, down again in Rockhampton, pick up some prisoners, go to Brisbane. It's the longest, most arduous day. But hey, you're constantly reminded when you're in the police that you're working for the public. So you can't just go and waste money. That's what you're told when you're down. When you're down doing the groundwork, when you're actually doing the hard work. But when you're making announcements, well, sky's the limit apparently. The cost of that particular aircraft for that week was $83,185. The second aircraft, the total cost for the week was $84,640. Got to ask, why do you need two aircraft? Why can't you just cut the amount of people that you're traveling with? You're making announcements here, people. You're not. It's not like you're transporting builders and contractors up with you. Gollschewski said it was his first day as police commissioner and that he saw the benefit in being able to travel to the regions. He said other options, such as commercial flights, were not suitable. You got to ask, why weren't they suitable? How come that wasn't suitable? Okay. I weighed that all up, considered the importance of it, and felt that it was something that I should do. Now, it was not until this week until I found out what the total cost was, he told the hearing. You know, okay. They did this in April. He only found out this week what the total cost was. It's only a bureaucrat that just goes and spends money and gives no consideration, doesn't know what the budget is, doesn't know what it's costing. If this is a private enterprise, you know exactly what you're spending because it's your money. If it's your money, well, then you're a bit more like, oh, we can't spend that much money or whatever. Okay, this is budgeted, whatever. It's your money. But when these are bureaucrats, politicians, they don't care because it's not their money. So they don't give a flying flip. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Who makes bookings and doesn't even consider the cost? If you don't consider the cost, you don't care about the people that you're supposed to be serving, the community that you're supposed to be serving. You just do whatever because why would you care? Anyway, it was confirmed. Cairns MP, Michael Healy, Townsville MP, Scott Stewart, Barron River MP, Craig Crawford, who are all based in North Queensland, were also on legs of the trip. Really? Gollschewski said police would also look into why the flight manifest for the trip was not up to date. How can that be? How can it be that the flight manifest wasn't up to date? The, okay, anyhow, well, let's talk about. So the flight manifest was not up to date, as required by the Civil Aviation Safety Authority (CASA) for chartered flights. The reason I have no confidence in the manifest is I know there's flights that I was on and I don't appear on the manifest. I've asked for further work in relation to that manifest to get accuracy of who was actually on it. See, this is the problem. Politicians, they'll go and just book flights, do whatever they want, and then they wonder why they get in trouble. They don't tell people who's on it. They go and do dodgy things because they think they're the only people that know. They'll have friends and family who shouldn't be on flights because they're, oh, this is just us. I can do whatever they want. They treat it as if it's their own personal aircraft, their own personal form of transportation. No one's on the manifest. Do you think this is the only time that politicians have flown around our great state, our big state, and without anyone on the manifest? Do you reckon is there even a slight chance that they've gone and said, well, I'll take my friends, my family on the flight because I'll just leave them off the manifest. That way, if it all comes out in the public, that I've flown here and there, I can say, well, I was the only one on the flight. There's no proof. Do you think this is the first time it's happened? Guarantee you it's happened. I guarantee you there's been politicians out there who have been flying their family around the state for free. This is a load of rubbish, absolute garbage. This is, if this was a low level, if this was someone in low level government, or if this was someone in the police at a lower level, they would be getting absolutely reamed for this, absolutely smashed, if not losing their job. Heads would be rolling if this was someone else in a at a lower rank or a lower form of government. Anyway, so he's asked, the manifest I've been advised are accurate at the time of booking, but if there's changes later, they haven't amended them. Oh, well, it is only what? It's only a couple of months, fellas. Got to give people time to write a couple of names on the manifest. Hell, it takes time. These things take time. At estimates on Tuesday, Miles, our great premier, the one that we never voted for, we just got lumped with him because Palaszczuk dropped off. Miles defended the use of two planes for the trip, but did not reveal the total cost. Like I said, he didn't reveal the cost because he's like, no, old Stevie baby, he can do that. There's been a long-standing practice for funds to be allocated for QG Air for it to provide air services to the Queensland government, he told the hearing. That includes for the Premier and for ministers, for the police commissioner, and for police transfers, other emergency services, as well as organ transplants. So, in other words, worthwhile things. The itinerary that was booked for me was entirely within the guidelines. Entirely. This is Miles. Entirely within the guidelines for ministerial travel. And as I have outlined, some come from the allocations that have been long been made to QG Air to allow premiers to get around our big state. This is what Miles said. Miles said when commercial flights were suitable, he always used them for travel. I got to know, why is it that commercial flights weren't suitable? How? What's the reasoning? They just say these things. Well, they just weren't suitable, but they don't tell you why it wasn't suitable. You just have to trust them when they say, well, it's no longer suitable. No longer suitable. It used to be suitable. It's not suitable anymore. We're not going to tell you why it's not suitable. Just trust us when we say the flights weren't suitable and the manifests, well, they're up to date at that time, but there may have been other people on the flight. We can't really tell you that because the manifests aren't up to date. But hey, just trust us because we updated them at the time. But now they're not up to date. And who knows what's happened. 160, just shy of 168,000. This is more, like I said, this is true bureaucratic arrogance. When you just go and book things, you go and plan this trip, and there's no consideration for the cost. I think that just shows that shows the type of leader, the type of person you are. It's like, oh, I'll just go and book this. I'm not paying for it. Who cares? Don't even consider the cost because it's not your money. So they don't really care. And then the premier, the one that we have that we didn't vote for, and that poor excuse for a minister, police minister, Mark Ryan. Oh. And the fact that he won't answer, he didn't want to tell them how much it costs because he knows it's way too much money. He knows there's other forms, there's other ways they could have done it. I don't know if anyone's realised, anyone in Parliament, in the Queensland government's realised, but when you're making an announcement, that's literally just you talking. Literally. Hey, I'll make an announcement right now. Right now, I'll make an announcement. Jay Fallon is talking here on the slippery slope. That's my announcement. And guess what? I didn't have to take two planes and fly around the state to do it. I'm just sitting here with a video camera in front of me and a computer. I made my announcement. There are other ways you could have done this. If you actually cared about the state of Queensland and the people that live in it and the budgets, you would have done this a lot cheaper. But you don't care. And you're spending money that's not yours, so you don't care how much money you spend. Premier Miles is a my all. Mark Ryan, makes my blood boil. Steve Gollschewski, I think he got played. He got played. He got played. He got left. He got left holding the ball. Manifests aren't up to date. Police commissioner was on the flight. He should have known. Cost just under 168,000. I'm not going to tell you, but ask the police commissioner. You think Gollschewski's sitting there going, freaking Miles. He's cursing Miles under his breath. Let me know what you think. These fellas are just, they're just having a go at it. They really are. Let me know what you think. This is pathetic. Anyway, I'm Jay Fallon. This is all just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Thank you for listening to The Slippery Slope.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's